Welcome to the Six Hockey Player Interview Series, the series where we get to sit down with some recently drafted players from the OHL Priority Selection. And Rain, this is a very exciting time for a lot of young men.
No doubt about it. We just saw the OHL draft just pass by a few weeks ago, and now we're speaking with Cole Barrett of the Vaughan Kings, who was a recent draft pick of the Barrie Colts. He was a part of a very special team that had a lot of good players. And Cole, we appreciate you spending the time to speak with us today.
Yeah, no, thank you.
So, Cole, can you take us through what draft day experience was like for you? It's different for a lot of players, but just take us through, who you were with, who you got that first congratulatory call from.
Yeah, I was with my family just in my living room watching it on our TV, and it was a pretty crazy day and exciting, especially when I heard my name being called. And yeah, the first call was from the general manager of the Barrie Colts, just congratulating me.
Yeah, you're going to one hell of an organization in Barrie who's produced a ton of great talent over the years. So I wanted to ask you, what that process was like, and what it feels like to be a Barrie Colt.
Yeah, no, definitely. My whole life dreaming of being drafted into the OHL or even lucky enough to play one day. So it's definitely very exciting, especially to such a great organization like the Barrie Colts. I've been to Barrie a couple times, but yeah, I've been there for hockey tournaments and stuff.
So, touching with your season with the Vaughan Kings, and obviously you guys didn't get to play this year, but what was that season like just during the pandemic, not having any hockey?
Yeah, it was a lot different for sure. Especially just not having the season and playing not as many games, but still playing against top teams that are still basically their team from our league. But yeah, it was pretty fun, especially playing with the players that would have been on your team if we did have a season.
How would you describe your play style to the people of the Barrie Colts organization and the fans that are going to get to see you here?
I definitely say I'm a skilled player, definitely a playmaker and a good forechecker.
I talked with Coach Eric before the draft, and I wanted to ask you about the impact that he had in your hockey career, and some of the things that you're going to carry for the rest of your life after his experience as your head coach.
Yeah, no, for sure. Him and Mike definitely, and Peter Sarno, they definitely helped us through the past few years and uh, practices, games, and learning so much from them. And it'll definitely carry to the future, not only in hockey but in life.
Yeah, it's a big step because you're not only moving on from the GTHL to go play in the O. That's a step up on the ice, but it's also an adjustment, in your personal life. This is a new step. There's going to be more eyes on you. What have you done to mentally prepare yourself for that? This is a big step in a young player's career.
Yeah, for sure. Just talking with people, for sure. Like my family, just coaches, friends, teammates, and yeah.
So another thing I wanted to touch on is what you do outside of hockey is also you go to Silverthorne and you train there, a part of their hockey program, and we've seen a lot of good players come out of that program. Off the top of my mind, you, Alan McShane, Harrison Israels as well, Rory Cairns. So I wanted to ask you what your high school experience has been there so far, and how has that helped your development as well.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been great. Before I went to Journey to Excel, I went to Power Edge Pro for about 2.5 years, and then I made the switch to Journey to Excel. It's definitely been great, and I've definitely seen the progression through the past few years I've been there, and the trainers there are great, and it was just a great experience overall.
Another thing I wanted to ask you about the high school schedule that you guys had at Silverthorne. I wanted to ask you how often are you guys on the ice? How often are you guys in the classroom? What is that? How does it work there at SEI?
Well, sort of before COVID started and all that, it was basically we would go on the in the gym in the morning from around 7:45 to like 9 o'clock, and then from around 9:15 to 10:15 we'd go on the ice, and then after that we'd basically eat our lunch and then go to school from, depending on the day, it would be 11:40 to like 3:25 or sort of like that kind of schedule.
Now, Cole, would you consider yourself a player who's all hockey all the time? Is it, once you finish up with your schedule there, you're going to watch the games, in the NHL or you're studying tape? Or is it a little bit more a give and take where you're trying to relax a little bit? Do you fire up the PlayStation at all and kick back there? Or how does that dynamic work for you?
Yeah, I definitely say a bit of both. I like to play a bit of video games here and there. Uh, but yeah, I definitely, usually after school, I'm going to practice but I usually tend to watch the games, especially now in the playoffs. I watch all the NHL games.
Who's your favorite team?
Probably Pittsburgh, since my favorite player is Sidney Crosby, and it's always been like that my whole life.
Is Crosby a player that you try to emulate when you're on the ice? He's not the biggest guy that's always going to be out there, but, he really uses his size effectively.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Great puck protector, playmaker. He's a leader.
What video games are you playing right now?
Right now I'm playing Warzone and NHL.
Now, how's that Warzone dynamic work? Anybody from Vaughan that you team up with, or is there guys outside of that team and a different organization that you like to run with?
Yeah, just a few of my friends that I used to hang out with and back where I used to live, and I was playing a bit with Jack Mayo, who was on the team last year.
Do you also play World of Chell with them, or
Yeah.
do you play Hockey Ultimate Team, or what do you do when you play
Uh,
Chell?
yeah. Before I was playing a bit of Hockey Ultimate Team, but lately I've been playing World of Chell mostly.
Are you threes guys or a fives guy?
Threes.
I'm telling you, man,
Oh,
everyone likes threes.
I'm in the fives camp. I like it a little bit more in terms of the defensive play. I fire up the sticks there as a defenseman as well. But this is a fun time for you. And I mean, moving forward, this is a new going to be a new city. You mentioned you'd visited a couple times, but this is a new experience and a big adjustment. So like, what are you thinking about when it comes to maybe living farther away from home and adjusting to life as a more serious hockey player?
Yeah, it'll definitely be a big change and definitely something new to me. But I feel like I'll be comfortable as I went with friends before away for like a few weeks, and it wasn't that bad.
I also wanted to touch on what you wanted to work on in the off season, but I also wanted to ask you about your goals for next season as well. What are you looking for, and what are your goals for the upcoming season?
I definitely say to get a lot stronger. Definitely put on a bit of weight and hopefully grow a bit. Definitely, my goal would definitely be to make the Barrie team. But for next year, if I don't, I'm not too sure what I'm gonna do yet. But I might play midget Vaughan Kings or try to make a tier two junior A team. I'm just not too sure yet.
Yeah, you mentioned, the weight training, trying to put on a bit of size. Is there somebody in your life that's really helped you with that? Is it a former coach or a trainer or family member even that's, keeping you on that grind?
Yeah, definitely before when I went to Journey to Excel, definitely getting stronger there. And last summer, I trained at the gym with Mike Glotty, uh, for most of the summer, and then sort of this past about a few months ago, my dad bought a lot of gym equipment, so I've been doing stuff with him. Uh, and yeah, that's basically what I've been doing right now, training in the gym around 5 days a week. And yeah.
Nice. That's awesome to hear. As you continue to get older and you start to phase out of the minor hockey experience, I wanted to ask you what probably stands out as your favorite moment in your entire minor hockey career playing in the G.
Definitely just overall, just you never really think about it until now when you realize like it's sort of over the minor hockey and really like how much fun it was before. Just playing on all those teams with all those players was definitely just a great time and fun experience.
I wanted to touch on a little bit about the stuff that you guys did last season and also the rivalry you guys sort of had with the Mississauga reps. What were some of those games like, and what was the atmosphere like when you had to play against a team that you sort of shared the same home rink with?
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Especially in those playoffs, just playing against such a great team with that kind of fan base was kind of crazy. I've never had something like that before.
Yeah, and as you move to the next level, that fan support is going to be eminent. Barrie, they love their Colts out there, and what are you excited to see from the fans? Because it's been a little bit of an experience in minor hockey, but now you have people packing the buildings and things like that. So, what are you looking forward to there?
Oh, just probably the excitement and just looking in the stands and just seeing all the fans and how they're cheering for us and they want us to win.
Going back to the GCHL playoffs last season, you guys had one hell of a battle with JRC. I wanted to ask you about what that series was like, and the intensity of that series, and how did it feel like to be a part of that entire thing, where the crowd's absolutely packed and you're playing in front of hundreds of people.
Yeah, it was definitely really intense. Especially how good of a team they are is extremely hard. But I feel like we still did pretty good, knowing how good they were. And it was really crazy. Even going from the reps, fans, and then going to them, it was just unbelievable.
Cole, we appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today. So I got one last question for you, and I think it'll be a pretty simple one. It's how excited are you for the future of your hockey journey, and what are you most excited about heading into the future?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely excited, extremely excited to see what I do in the future and what the future holds. Definitely say the most exciting part would be to potentially play in the OHL for the Barrie Colts and hopefully have a good run there and go far in hockey.
I got one last question before we let you go here, Cole. I mean, COVID's a little bit different for everybody, and me and myself, Rain, we've got a little bit going on up top. That is a fantastic head of hair you got, man. Is that a dedication? Is that something you had before COVID, or is that like something you're waiting to chop off when barbershops open up?
Yeah, sort of. I'm hoping that our barber shop opens soon and I can get a haircut. But yeah, I haven't got one in a while.
Mark your calendars, man. Wednesday, barbershops are open, so all of us will be chopping our flow as well. So
Yeah,
uh, McCall, we really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. We appreciate your answers. It was fantastic. I mean, just thanks again for giving us this time to interview.
yeah. Thank you for having me.
And for the Six Hockey Player Interview Series, my name is Liam Crothers. And for Rain Hernandez, we will see you next time.